all my Capricorn friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I'm here today with your November 2024 monthly horoscope. These horoscopes are based on whole sign Western astrology. So when I'm talking about Capricorn, Capricorn rising, dictating the first house and the landscape of the chart. If you are a Capricorn sun, a Capricorn moon, or have a stellium in Capricorn, this video is also applicable for you. When I talk about a day and a time, it's based on the Pacific time zone, so please adjust for your location. It is a big month. Pluto is in the last degrees of your first house, opposing Mars in your seventh house of committed partnerships. We're going to see a full moon in your fifth house of romance in Taurus later in the month. We're going to see Pluto enter your second house for the next 20 years in the middle of the month. You got a taste of that earlier last year. What else is going on? Oh, and we're going to have a Mercury retrograde. So it's another big month. And of course, there's the United States presidential election, which is playing around in the background of our lives and influencing us, no doubt. So let me pull up the chart and we'll take a look. So the month starts off on November 1st at 5:47 a.m. with a new moon in Scorpio. I did a separate video for that if you'd like to look at that. But real quickly, what we're just going to talk about is that this is an opportunity for Capricorn to really start to plant the seeds for their hopes and their dreams. Scorpio rules the deepest part of our psychology, like the imprint that we have that rules us through fear or through a sense of not feeling good enough. And so now when we're looking at your 11th house, we're looking at how the cosmic consciousness. So in some ways, how we interact and how we view our interactions and how people value us in our friendship circles, in our interactions on the World Wide Web and those social platforms. So this is a real opportunity for you to really think about what's important to you and what you want to continue to cultivate and build in the years ahead. Because as Pluto moves into your second house, this is a real opportunity for you to use your skills, literally use your voice to stand up for yourself, to speak for yourself with balance, of course, but in a way that allows you to experience the awarenesses that you have been discovering as Pluto has moved through your first house of self. So now, the one quick aspect I'm just going to talk about is the trine to Saturn. Saturn is in Pisces. Pisces is your third house. So this is an opportunity to really connect even more deeply with your building a connection with your awarenesses and the divinity within. Saturn is your ruling planet. And with such, Saturn offers great reward, but really requires great responsibility and duty to your mission. So that's why it's so important to choose a mission that is aligned to your heart versus how you perceive others will think you are valuable. So this is really important. Let's go to, I'm going to click off of the moon. I'm going to go to the next day and change the time to a little later in the afternoon. I'm going to go to about 3 p.m. And here we should see Mercury is at 0 degrees of Sagittarius. And Mercury is going to retrograde in Sagittarius for the second time consecutively in 2 years. And I think this is significant because there are some points within Sagittarius which are significant for connecting with the divine and being able to tap into information and solutions for challenges. We also have the great attractor at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, which allows the human to experience their co-creation and attraction. So as Mercury, the planet that I think, how I speak, how I interact with my teammates, my workmates, how I drive on the roads, the information in the media that I absorb and then share is all compacted within the Mercury energy. So Mercury is going to transit all the way up to 22 degrees until first 3 weeks of the month and then go back. This is significant because this is your 12th house. This is a house that will give you an opportunity to really further build your connection and your communication with spirit, because your ruling planet in your third house of Pisces is the natural. Pisces is the natural 12th house. So I think this is very significant because this gives Capricorn, that rules history, an opportunity to tap into their divine energy and the information contained within, almost like your inner Akashic records. So this is going to be a very powerful transit. And again, with the opposition from Pluto to Mars, Mars being in your 7th house, Pluto being in your 1st house, this is really giving you an opportunity to, through tension, through something that triggers you, to have an awareness of how you're going to take action. And will it be based on an intuitive, divine soul knowing, or will it be based on the material, earthly obligations and duties? Very, very powerful. The Mars and Pluto opposition has been going on since, well, I shouldn't say going on, but we've been feeling it since, well, it has been going on, but since, let's say, mid-October. This is going to continue on as Mars moves into Leo and Pluto moves into Aquarius. So your awareness of this and this outside push-pull of, sort of the underbelly of your psychology compelling you to want to take action in some way. It's important to be aware of this, because I think that the actions you take could be very similar to habitual habits, but they could be taken from a different perception and therefore be more positive or have a more fruitful outcome. Okay, and speaking of Mars moving into Leo, we will see that happen on the 3rd. Where is Mars? Where is Leo? Oh, hasn't quite happened yet. Let me go a little later in the day. I'll go to 9 p.m. And our Leo energy is over here. And we see, so this is actually, Leo is your 8th house, the 8th house of transformation, the 8th house that Pluto rules, that deep psychology. There's that opposition we're talking about, Pluto, the 29th degree. I'm always seeing ones. I can't help myself. I'm a numbers gal. So here's that never-ending 29th degree Pluto lately, where we're really deconstructing the fears, the obligations that are not aligned to a broadening of Capricorn, to an expansive energy of Capricorn that allows you to feel the fluidness and a more easy. This almost feels like it's not about Capricorn's material wealth as much as it's the ease of enjoying the material wealth and what you've built and what you have created with your intentions. We also see that Mars is making a nice aspect to Neptune and to the North Node, as well as to Mercury here. And Mercury is, again, in this expansive energy of Sagittarius, and yet Mercury is used to the small details of things. So this is another thing where I think Mercury's retrograde in Sagittarius has been so powerful, because it lets Mercury find a way to implement these big concepts of the great attractor, or the information that's downloaded, when on the galactic center, and put it into my everyday life. It's interesting how Jupiter is in detriment in Gemini, and Gemini is, I guess, technically in detriment in Sagittarius, but there's something here that feels just more expansive about this dynamic for me. It just does. I think it's Mars's willingness to take action. Okay, now let's go to the 15th, where we will see Saturn go direct in Pisces. Now, Saturn is your ruling planet. And I believe, this is my perception and what I've been getting from my meditations, is that Saturn has been in this time in history, in this sense of awareness in the year 2024, we are more open in general. So here, the openness is about looking at the old structures and history, Saturn, and then using that to as a way to almost like a memory connect with spirit. So as spirit uses our personal ancestral history to nudge our soul in a direction, Saturn has been building a stronger relationship with the divinity within. And having this be Capricorn's third house, it very much feels like a conversation with God, literally. And this may be very difficult for Capricorn at first, which is why Pluto's transit was so powerful, because it's breaking down all the fears, trepidations, all the material responsibilities and obligations that have held you to a limited and restricted version of yourself. And as Saturn has been transiting through your third house, it's been really strongly tasking all of us as in this transit, but specifically you for your communications. How will you talk to the divine, and will you give those subtle nudges and urges and inspirations life and build upon them? I think that's super, super powerful. So we're going to enjoy that transit. It's going to go on until 2026. So you'll have a little bit more time to build your Lincoln logs. Okay. Let's go to the full moon. I'll be doing a separate video on that. That full moon is also on the 15th. This time it's at 1:28 p.m. So we're backing up our time clock here. Full moons are always the brightest phase of the moon and an illumination. Often people call it a culmination, the ending of a cycle. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because it feels like the illumination is actually the closing of a chapter and moving into a new chapter with new awareness. Here we see that this full moon is in your fifth house of fun, pleasure, romance, the conception of children. And here's Uranus retrograde on this moon. This feels like a lightning strike emotional epiphany of like, oh my gosh, I should be having more fun. I should be enjoying my life. This is the whole point. And again, I'm going to do a separate video on that. But while I'm here, I just think it's so magnificent to have this awareness, because now we see this nice trine to Pluto and this sextile to Neptune from Uranus mostly. And that Pluto, Uranus, Neptune conversation is going to go on for years to come. So there's an epiphany about your transformation. There is like, oh my gosh, this is about me. When I take care of me, I'm actually better for my community and the people around me, and they see my transformation. And that's the aha moment that I think Uranus offers you, which is so beautiful. God bless. Okay, now let's go to the 19th, when Pluto moves into your second house for the next 20 years. Did we get there? Yeah, we're there. Okay, so here's your first house. Venus has entered your first house. I didn't quite, I should have brought that up a few days ago. She moved in on the 11th. Her conversations are very sober in the first house of Capricorn. She's really interested in building money and security, and has a very strong Capricorn kind of, for me, Taurus feel, because she rules Taurus. And now she's in a sign that complements the building of her security in her house. So that happened on the 11th. But now here on the 19th, we see this Pluto energy, which is really, really powerful. The second house is where you use your skills, where you move into the future, where your life is innovated, where it feels like you can, rocket ships in flight, literally and figuratively. And so while it's still in a challenging position over here to Leo energy in your eighth house, it is I think, because of Pluto's this background in, a conversation that's going to be going on, to me feels very favorable for understanding many things. My thoughts are things. I'm a co-creator. As I take action, checking the platform. Am I happy? Am I enjoying my life? Is this something I want to do, or is this something I feel I have to do? And as you do that, I think you're going to find, Capricorn, that you're going to be more engaged in using your skills to make your own money, to renovate and move your life forward in ways that might have not seemed possible in previous chapters. So super exciting. Yes, will Pluto rebirth something, which means something must end for something to begin. But oftentimes it's been on shaky ground. Whatever the platform, it's already sort of been making itself known, and it could have been making itself known for years. On the 21st, we will see the sun move into Sagittarius. And we see Mercury is just about a few days away from its starting its retrograde. Again, separate video on that. But as Mercury moves through Sagittarius, and again, this is your 12th house, there's going to be more and more sort of information and epiphanies. There's something about the way that Pluto is moving into your second house, because that's also a historic house. It's a family house. It's how the second house is your self-worth as it was created and shaped and molded by your family experience. So I love the idea that Aquarius is giving you an opportunity to move into the future. And this now feels like there's more and more thoughts about, that as the sun enters Sagittarius, it's like, because the sun is fire, Sagittarius is fire. And eventually we're going to start to see the sun and Mercury come like this together. And while they're always traveling very close, I feel like that part of this next few weeks is going to be very powerful for you, because it's sort of like the sun representing your ego and your drive and ambition, and then your mind kind of coming together for that awareness to implement and to use Pluto's energy to its highest and greatest good. I'll go quickly to the 25th. Let's see. I don't know if I have the time of that. Mercury hasn't quite gone retrograde yet. Let me go later in the day. Now, I'm doing this purposefully because for Capricorn, because I think it's important. That 22nd degree is a pretty powerful degree. It's a little bit, oftentimes it can be jarring because it rules the Capricorn energy. It also rules something. Oftentimes you hear the catchwords kill or be killed when you think of the 22nd degree. I really think this is killing small thoughts that don't serve you. I think that the retrograde, as we begin it, and as Mercury is slowing down in the house of your ancestral beliefs, ancestral philosophies and ideologies and religious beliefs and governmental even beliefs. I believe Sagittarius rules, branches of government like the JOD and the executive branch, the legislative branch. And when we get into the Capricorn energy, we're looking at our actual leaders as individuals, the president, the king kind of thing. So I think this is a really powerful time, because as Mercury slows down, I think you're going to have some interesting, like weird, I see this blind side, kind of this quincunx here to Uranus. And I feel like that's kind of capitalizing on that full moon energy. Like there's something sitting in the background that's giving you this nudge. And that could even be further evidenced by the opposition to Jupiter and the square to Neptune. So there's some weird underbelly feeling for that it is time to start to individualize yourself, to allow yourself. This is your fourth house, Chiron transiting your fourth house. This would be rewriting an ancestral belief, something that's been maybe holding you back, something that could potentially be the ball and chain, and you didn't even know it was there. You're like, oh my gosh. And look, the IC here. Now, while this is a transit, not your personal IC, I do feel like this trine is somehow, once again, because the IC is our home, the very bottom of the zodiac. So at this time, with Mercury trining that IC in Leo, it's another individuality. It's another sort of allowing you to express yourself in ways that you maybe have not done before, because you felt that maybe it wasn't, I don't know, whatever the underbelly that was holding you back feels as if it is lifting. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now because I think that's pretty much the most influential dynamics that are going on for Capricorn right now. Again, this is a pivotal time for you because as you become aware of the things that Mercury has imprinted upon you throughout your life, and you give life to the expansion of that, as Pluto moves into your second house for the next 20 years, you could experience a sense of expansion and wealth and it could be a whole new world, a whole new life. And I know a lot of people are really scared of Pluto because it's supposedly a malefic, which it is because it kills something before it gives birth to something else. But it is a rising of the phoenix. It is where Capricorn in particular can feel the power of the builder within you. Whatever your hope, whatever your dreams are, can be built through using your skills, your voice, and your talents. All right, everybody, all my Capricorns. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer. If you'd like to book a reading with me, my information is below in the description, and I'll be back in December. Have a lovely November. Bye-bye.